Welcome to This Week in JetHawks Baseball. I'm your host, Jeff Lasky. A little bit later on, we're going to meet the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes with our reporter, Scott Blusiewicz, and Will Thornhill will give you a tour of what's going on around the ballpark. Now, on last week's show, we were in the middle of the JetHawks clubhouse. Today, we're in a different dressing room. This is where Kaboom and Stealth get ready for the games. Mascots and players, believe it or not, do have something in common. They can both be very superstitious. When a hitter is in the midst of a long hit streak, they can have overt superstitions, like not changing their underwear for a few weeks, or they can be very subtle, more in the way that they prepare. Two of the longest hit streaks already this season have been turned in by JetHawks outfielder Austin Wates. Austin is our very special guest here on this week's show, so let's meet him. And here we are with JetHawks outfielder Austin Wates. Austin, you had a 12-game hit streak. They got you one day, and you immediately started on another 12-game hit streak. My clever math skills tell me that's a hit in 24 out of 25 games. Do you feel a rhythm? Do you feel like you're in a groove when something like that's happening? Is it something you think about at all?
You try not to think about it, and, if hits come, they come. Sometimes you hit the ball right at guys, and, those couple of games, I just had a few hits definitely go my way. But, baseball's a fair game, and, the baseball gods will account for your mishits and your hits that are right at people. So
throwing out the luck factor, throwing out the modesty factor, do you feel that there were approach things, or is it simply just your development at the start of the season?
To be honest with you, I think preparation is definitely a big key. Going through, my daily routine as far as, after warm-ups and, what I do in the locker room and, kind of staying relaxed and just trusting that I've done everything I know that I can do to prepare for the game. And I think that's the biggest thing that gives you a little bit more confidence and a little bit of an extra boost.
Some guys get very superstitious when they're on a hit streak. They don't want to think about it. They don't want anyone to talk about it. They might do things a certain way. Is there anything that you found yourself doing or thinking about? Did you even know that you were in the middle of a streak?
I knew. I had some teammates that were telling me, hey, you got another one, you kept it going. But like I said, I think the biggest thing for me is just knowing that I prepared the right way, and that gave me a little bit of extra confidence going into the game. If I came into the clubhouse and hadn't done something, to prepare myself, whether it was stretching right or doing my soft toss, getting that in before the game, I think that would have been a little bit different. But
you've certainly had success so far, and you're one of the guys who made the jump from short season ball, skipping the level, to come here. We've seen a few guys do that each year, but you probably had less pro experience than most of those guys. You only played, a dozen games or so after you signed your contract. Was it a huge difference going from college to just a few games in short season, and then all of a sudden you're in advanced A ball?
These guys are really good players. You gotta, you can't get lackadaisical. You can't really take a day off. Because, the guys that they're putting out there are going to do their best, to get you out every single time. So I think the biggest jump is consistency. And playing every day is definitely a grind, but that's something that they have to do as well, So I think that's the biggest jump for me was, getting used to playing, back-to-back days.
Well, obviously it's working so far, and thanks for joining us here on This Week in JetHawks Baseball.
Thank you.
That's Austin Wates, JetHawks outfielder. Coming up now, we're going to get a look at the opposing team, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, with our Scott Blusiewicz. Scott?
Thanks, Jeff. The JetHawks welcome the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes for a brief 4-game homestand. The series is possibly Lancaster's last chance to gain ground on Rancho Cucamonga, who currently holds an 8-game lead over the JetHawks in the race for the Southern Division first half title. Rancho Cucamonga is led by two of the California League's top hitters, catcher Gorman Erickson and third baseman Tony Delmonico. That's a look at the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Now back to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Scott. Now it's time for our JetHawks trivia question. A little bit earlier when we had Austin Wates here, we talked about his hit streaks. He's had two 12-game hit streaks this year. Well, one other JetHawks player this season has also hit in 12 games. Which JetHawks player, besides Austin Wates, has a 12-game hitting streak this year? That's our question for you, and while you're pondering that, let's find out what's going on around the ballpark with Will Thornhill. Will?
Thanks, Jeff. I'm here in the first base concession stand, home of the sweet potato tots and the stealth burger, just two of the items that you can get exclusively here at the first base concession stand. Now, all throughout the ballpark, there's different items that you get at each stand. Home plate has the pizza, and then, of course, third base has all of your healthy choice items, along with Kaboom's Doghouse. Lots of great reasons to walk through the concourse and get your food and watch a ball game. Of course, this homestand is full of some great promotions, starting with Thursday night. It's another Cheers Buck Beers. The following night is a fireworks show, of course, launch a ball to make sure you win some great prizes. And then Saturday, it is our beach bag giveaway, and that's for the first 1,500 fans that come through the gates get a great 2011 JetHawks beach bag. That wraps up this short 4-game set. We look forward to seeing you out all weekend long. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, thank you very much, Will. Let's give you our trivia question answer. We asked you which JetHawks player, besides Austin Wates, has a 12-game hit streak this season. Your answer, JetHawks third baseman Jonathan Meyer. If you'd like to listen to any of the JetHawks games when the team is home or road, you can do that in a couple of ways. Online, CSN at jethawks.com, or on radio at 87.7 FM Kickin' Country. And if you'd like to watch any of our This Week in JetHawks baseball episodes, you can do that online at jethawks.com. Just click on multimedia. Ooh, looks like somebody's at the door, and yeah, I guess we've got to clear out of here so Kaboom can get ready for the game here tonight. So we'll say our thank yous to our reporters Will Thornhill and Scott Blusiewicz, and also to JetHawks outfielder Austin Wates, plus Radon Productions for putting together this week's episode. This is Jeff Lasky saying we'll see you next week on This Week in JetHawks Baseball.